everybody, Fiber Spider back again in the kitchen with another tasty video for you. Today we are going to be making ramen. Yes. Now I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, okay, wait a minute. Dried noodles, add some hot water, add that little seasoned packet, and you've got ramen soup. True, but we are going to be doing something a little bit different today, a little bit more decadent, and dare I say it, darn tasty. Yes. We are going to be making ramen, but instead of with a typical broth, we are going to be making a creamy, cheesy, really rich and decadent sauce and add in a couple of leftover veggies. It's going to be awesome. And without further ado, let's get to it. Alrighty, so here we are at the stove. I haven't heated anything up yet. I just have my ingredients all set to go, which there aren't that many actually, so it's pretty simple. So basically, in this pot here, I have about 6 cups of water. Gonna bring that to a boil for the noodles. And then in this pot here, we're going to be making our lovely sauce. So let us start with roughly about 2 tablespoons of butter. Nice, good fat wedge there. Pop that in there. And start to heat up our butter on a low heat. Now, I have seen a number of videos where they say, oh, get it up to a high heat. Yeah, well, I'm really good at burning things. So I'm going to start this off at a nice low heat. It's you know, it says that it's at like a simmer right now. So going to basically just be melting the butter, and then we're going to be adding 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. Now, I did try the exact same thing with 2 tablespoons of flour, and it was really, really thick, okay? Basically, what we're going to be doing is creating what is called a roux. And so it's a mixture of melted butter and flour, and then adding in some milk or some cream, and then we're going to add some cheese. Oh, you know I love cheese. Anything with cheese or potatoes, I'm just over the moon. So right now, going to be just melting our butter, and it's getting there. Maybe add just a little bit more heat. So it's at the high end of simmer at the moment, and yep, it is starting to melt. And then when the butter has melted down, we're going to add the flour, mix it thoroughly so that there are no more lumps, and then we will continue on with the process. All right, so I'm just going to let the butter melt down. It's going to be a nice slow process because, like I said, I don't want to burn nothing, so I'll see you in a bit. Alrighty, so the butter has completely melted. The thing is that I don't want it to start bubbling and boiling and getting burnt, which, again, I'm really good at doing, so I'm trying not to do that. So, at this point, with our butter, going to add the flour. There we go. And then start whiskey. And the idea is no lumps. Just trying to get all of this integrated together. And the flour with the butter, it's going to act as a thickening agent. Now, I don't know, but I think you could use cornstarch as well. But I've only done it so far with flour. All right, so at this point, your butter should look something like this, nice and thick. And then going to add 1 cup of half and half. Now, you could use milk. I generally only have half and half on hand, so. And I made a mess. All right, well, so be it. and mix this together nice and thoroughly. And you want to keep stirring this. You do not want to leave your stove and go do something else. Oh no, you want to keep stirring this. And you don't want the milk or the half and half that I'm using, you don't want that to boil. You just want it to get nice and warm. A little bit steamy, but you don't want it to boil. There we go. And then going to add 1 seasoned packet of the ramen. Now this is a beef seasoned packet. If you prefer chicken, you could do that. If you prefer no seasoning at all, you could do that too. That's totally fine. But I figure we're having ramen, let's go with ramen. Now also I have 1 cup of shredded cheese. It's a Colby Jack blend. I've used it countless times in my recipes. And believe it or not, this is going to be the cheese sauce. Now, initially, it looks pretty awful, I will be the first to say. However, within a very short amount of time, it will, like magic, it'll start to thicken, and it's like magic. It's absolutely fabulous. And I still have my burner at a very low simmer. And on this pot, I have my water heating up. Want to get that up to a boil so that I can start in on my noodles. And then when this starts to thicken up a bit, I'm going to add my veggies. Now you can add anything to this sauce. You can totally customize it. It's a fabulous thing. I just had some leftover veggies that I thought would be nice. Another thing I was thinking of doing at some point in the future is adding maybe a can of mushrooms. So the cheese is definitely starting to melt in here, as you can see. But it hasn't quite come full circle yet. It hasn't quite thickened up to where we want it. Oh, it's getting there. It is getting there. Oh, oh. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look at this beautiful sauce. Oh, this is awesome. It's like magic. It just gets thick. Absolutely lovely. All right. Now let me raise the temperature on my water, get that to a boil. Alrighty. Then going to add in my veggies. Really, whatever you have on hand. You know, I like using leftovers in my recipes. Let's see, is this going to be enough? Let's see. I like the ratio to be good, you know? You know what? I think I could add all of them. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, I would say that was maybe like a cup and a half of vegetables, roughly speaking. So mix this all together. Now, the reason why I didn't want to add both packets of the seasoning to the sauce is because that, I think it might overdo it just a little bit. One packet definitely does the trick, though. Or if you want to use other seasonings, that's totally up to you. All right, nice and mixed through. And at this point, I think I can dispense with the whisk and use a spoon instead. All right, the water is boiling. Now this, I'm going to continue to heat on a very low heat. Perhaps get it to be a little bit thicker, bring some of the moisture out. And yeah, so when this starts to do its boily, I will see you in just a minute. Alrighty, so making a mess on my stovetop couldn't be better. And as you can see, the sauce is nice, it's thick, it is rich, and I cannot wait to taste it. However, I'm going to leave off here for just a moment. The water is now boiling. I'm gonna pop in my noodles. There we go. That's one. And the second brick as well. Now, fortunately, the noodles do not take very long at all to bring to a nice, soft, I wouldn't necessarily say al dente state, but, those do not take very long at all. Now, once my noodles are done cooking in just a few minutes, I'm going to drain them and add them to my sauce. I will see you in a moment. Alrighty. All right, I believe we are about there. I already removed the sauce from the stove because I didn't want it to cook anymore. And the noodles are done. Just gotta drain these. There we go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right. Give it a shaky shake. And dump them back in. And then grab my ladle here. Nice and thick. There we go. And then give this a nice mix. I don't know about you, but I always prefer it when the sauce is mixed thoroughly with the noodles as opposed to just the sauce being plopped on top and you eat it that way. How about you? All right. I like everything to be incorporated, Okie dokie, looks like we are all set and good to go. We have ourselves some creamy, cheesy ramen noodles with vegetables. Yes, for a balanced diet. All right, now for the taste test. All right, now for my absolute favorite part of all of these videos is the tasting. And give you a nice look. Ooh, it looks so nummy. This is such an easy, quick, simple recipe, and it's very, very versatile. And I love this stuff. So now it is still steaming hot, so please bear with me. There we go. Really rich, really creamy. This is really good. And it is a great way of using up some leftover vegetables or whatever else you have in the fridge. Why not, you know? Make it your own. Really good. Also, you can experiment with different seasonings, with different kinds of cheese. Like I said, I was using a Colby Jack blend. I get it all the time from Walmart, and I use it in a lot of different recipes. If you're more in the mood for, say, cheddar or Swiss or what have you, why not? This is, quite frankly, an area that I'm not very familiar with as far as making a roux and a cheese sauce and that sort of thing. I could be doing it totally wrong, but the results are very tasty, so I think I have to be doing something right. I'm a novice, what can I say? But I'm an enthusiastic novice. And yeah, so you can add a lot of different things to your ramen. It doesn't have to be just water and a seasoned packet and your noodles. No, you can really jazz things up and make it your own. And I am glad because it really adds a nice variation to something that, you know, like, it's often thought of as like, it's like the poor college students, you know, go-to is, you know, a bowl of instant ramen. Well, you can make it something fun, you know? Excuse me. And it is just so, so tasty. Now, there is one caveat to this really delicious dish, and that is that the first time I made this dish, I only wanted one brick of noodles. Well, I tried it with the one package of noodles and the one seasoned packet. Now the flavoring was fine. I had added two tablespoons of flour to that, and it was so thick, and it was too much sauce for just one packet of noodles. So the second time I made it with 2 packages of noodles with the one seasoned packet. Everything else was the same, and it came out better with just the 1 tablespoon of flour and the ratio of noodles versus sauce. Now the thing is that, yeah, I've got more than enough to eat here, plus a little bit left over. Now, that being said, here comes the caveat. This is incredibly good right after you make it. However, leftovers don't hold up quite so well. Just being totally honest. The flavor, you know, the taste, it's just fine. It tastes exactly the same. But the sauce is very much like the experience that I've had with so many other cream sauces, like an Alfredo. Whenever you go to the restaurant, you get a doggy bag, you know, you bring some home, you put it in the fridge, and then you have it like the next day. It's not quite the same. It's not smooth, it's not silky, it's not melty. It's like the sauce separates or something. And the flavor is still good. It's just the texture, you know. So what I would recommend is, you know, have this, you know, with somebody, you know, so that there aren't leftovers, or just face the fact that the leftovers aren't going to be quite as good as when you first made it. But considering how inexpensive and easy and simple and versatile this dish is, I really wanted to share it with you guys and, you know, impart some of my experience, limited as it may be, because I've made this is the 3rd time that I'm making this dish, and I'm going to be making it again, indeed. That is, of course, if I can clean off the stovetop, you know, sufficiently, because yes, I made a bit of a mess, and we'll see what happens with that. But anywho, Listen, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video and you learned something new, perhaps. And have you tried this kind of a dish before, this kind of a sauce before? If you have, let me know in the comments section down below what you think, perhaps what I could do to tweak this, make it better, or how do you think I did? I'm totally open to constructive criticism. Just, please be gentle with me. I like never said I was an expert. No, I'm an enthusiastic novice, and I'm always interested in learning more. So, that being said, thank you again once for watching, and I hope you have a great, great day, and you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and, well, I always say stay stitching. Stay making fun, fabulous things in the kitchen, creamy and delicious, and stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day, and a tasty one, too.